Welcome to Content Engineer. Today I'm going to show you the pro version of this, but it includes everything that the other versions include as well. So in all versions of Content Engineer, you get the ideas section, the tweets section, and the repost hub. The difference between the pro version and the other versions is that the pro version includes Framework OS Plus, and Framework OS Plus includes Framework GPT, which is a writing GPT, which I'll demo later. But all versions of Content Engineer, starting with the basic version, have the ideas, the My Tweets, and the repost hub, as well as what is called the master calendar. So Content Engineer is a Notion template designed to help you schedule posts on X, and also to brainstorm ideas and to write tweets that you can then schedule. So I've created it in such a way that you can easily create a new idea here. You just click that button and it will generate a new idea for you. So let's say example idea. Oops. So we're creating a new idea here. This is just this box here. We can enter some idea that you may have had. So this is intended to be something that you can use if you just need you want to quickly draft an idea for something, right? So let's say I really want to write a tweet about mental models in the style of Hormozy or something like this. So this is just the idea. It's not the actual tweet that we would write. It's just a reminder for later. So if I just want to take a quick note, I can jot that down there and then it's done. If I go into my ideas folder here, then I'll actually see that example idea has been added to the ideas database. Now, if in the future I want to open up that idea and then continue to work on it, I can do that. And I might use this area down here as scratch work, right? So I could have some text down here. So this is like my draft. I'm like, yeah, I actually kind of like that. I think that's what I want to do. So I'll copy that. I'm going to put that up here into the tweet text. Anything that is in this tweet text section will get ported over into the other databases, but nothing down here will. So this is only for scratch work. This is the kind of information that will get ported over. Now we have a section, so remember we're in the ideas folder, but if we go back to the home page, which you can always hit that little button there that I created, we don't have anything on the calendar yet. And if we go to the My Tweets database, this is basically where all your tweets will live when they're in draft form, and then after you schedule them, they'll also live there as already scheduled. So if we wanted to take that one of our ideas and we want to continue to develop it, so we had decided we liked the way that this looked, we can just hit this little button here called Send to My Tweets. That's going to now send it to the My Tweets folder or database. And so it'll look really similar. The title is going to be the same because it's pulling that from the other database. It's going to pull it in as a draft. And then we can continue to work on that text if we wanted to here. Let me just show you where it now lives. So you'll see that if we go into My Tweets, now there's a draft tweet in here, and see how it pulled in this text. So we can continue to work on it, or if we like the way it looks, we can hit schedule. Now when we hit schedule, it's going to now send this to the calendar. So technically this tweet is now on the calendar, but it doesn't have a date yet. So we just want to update the date. Let's say we'll do the 17th there. And then we can state what type of thing it is. So it was a tweet. And we could also continue working on it if we wanted. And it's going to, by default, it's going to set the status to upcoming tweets, because when it goes onto the calendar, presumably that's not a tweet that's happened in the past. So we're actually done with this now. It's going to be on the calendar if we go back. If we go back here, we'll see there's that tweet right there on the calendar. We can open it up and look at it or whatever. So you can very quickly draft ideas, send them to your My Tweets, which is really like a drafting place for the tweets themselves. This is for capturing ideas. This is for actually kind of formulating the tweets. And then you can always send those directly from My Tweets onto this master calendar. And you can have as well a weekly view, so you can see stuff by the week. So that was next week, so you would see it there. So you'll have all your tweets for the day will be lined up like that. If you want to ever sort them by a table, you can do that. And then you can also drag them over into change their status from upcoming to posted once you post them, if that's something you want to do as well. Okay, in addition to that, I wanted to create a way that you could easily repost things. One of the things that I found annoying on X is that you can schedule tweets, but you can't schedule reposts natively on X. So what if you're on X and you decide that you really like a tweet that you'd like to quote it or repost it, but you don't want to do it right now, right? You want to save it for later. And like one thing you can do, of course, is just save it using bookmarks, but then it's a pain to sort through, right? So what I did is I created this repost hub for you. So how this works is it's really quite similar to the other databases. If you hit new repost, it'll create a new entry. And what you can do is when you're in X, so let's say I liked this, I don't know, this is the top tweet here. Say if I liked this, I could hit this little button here, I could copy the link to that, and now I can go back over into here and I could add it. Now this is like super easy from your phone, so really this is probably more useful if you're going to have a Notion on your phone and X on your phone, because you can just send it directly to this database right from your phone very, very easily. I could title this if I want to. I'll just call it Repost Idea 1, and then basically it's ready. If I'm ready to send it to the calendar, I can schedule it now, but if I don't, then I'll just end up with a list of pending repost ideas. So I don't have to schedule them at any time, and I've set this filter here automatically so that it's going to only show the pending stuff. If I go back into this tweet and I hit the send to calendar button, it's also going to open up a new calendar view. It's now sending it to the calendar. I can add the date. Let's do it again for the 17th here. And it changed the status automatically to upcoming, which means, and I'm going to say that it's a repost just for later categorization. So if I go back to the repost hub, you'll see it's not showing up here. That's because the status automatically changed to scheduled. So this I've set up to only show pending. Okay, so let's go back home and we can see where that tweet is. There it is. Okay, so if we look at the weekly view, for example, so there's our two tweets. So we know on the 17th, all right, we want to do that. We want to repost this guy, and then we want to post this. Now, if you're ready to post this, all you got to do is just copy this to the clipboard and then just go to X. And actually, I'm going to build a button in here that you'll probably see where it'll say go to X, and it'll just take you directly from here straight to X. Likewise, if you wanted to repost this tweet that you liked, all you have to do is click on it. It's going to automatically open that tweet in X, and then you can just go down and do your reposting there. Okay, so that's how the ideas and the My Tweets work, as well as the repost hub. Of course, you can also use these buttons on the side, immediately create a new idea, create a new tweet, or create a repost. Those are easy. If you have Content Engineer Pro, you also get access to Framework OS Plus, and I want to show you what that is. So Framework OS Plus is a writing tool. It's designed to help you write content that's viral based on very well-proven frameworks for writing. And so it comes with viral writing frameworks for X. This is over 50 different proven writing frameworks that are popular on the X platform. And so you can see here's all these different, they're kind of like templates, sort of. And I'll show you how you use these in a moment. If we go back here, you also have a drafting section. This is very similar to My Tweets inside of Content Engineer, but it's just for writing, essentially. You also have access to Framework GPT. Now, this only comes with the Plus version of Framework OS. So if you have just the basic Framework OS, you won't see this. You'll see something that looks similar, but it'll be asking you if you want to upgrade it. So if you have the upgraded version, you actually have a custom GPT that I created, and it's trained on all of those writing frameworks. So if we go back here, I'll show you what that looks like. Let's say you wanted to create a new post based on a viral writing framework. All you're going to do is you're just going to go down here and find a framework that you like. Let's say we picked this one. Here's the framework. Okay. Basically, all you need to do, if you decide I want to use this framework, I've got some idea I want to use this framework for it, you just hit draft this, and it's going to send that framework to the drafts folder or the drafts database. And from there, you can continue to work on this tweet. So Okay, so we won't edit it anymore, but if you wanted to retitle this, you can do that easily. The status is automatically going to be unscheduled. You can state whether it's a thread or a tweet. Also, again, if you want to draft stuff down here, just remember that nothing down here is going to pull into the calendar. Only stuff from up here is going to go to the calendar. Now, if you're not ready to post it, no worries. You just click out of it, and if you go back to the drafts folder, it will be in here. So there it is right there. If you are ready to schedule it, then all you have to do is hit schedule. And again, what this is going to do is it's going to send it to the calendar inside of Framework OS. So I'm going to add a date to it just for the sake of example here. Again, we'll use the 17th. So this is going to send it to this calendar back here. So you'll see it right there. So this is not the same calendar as the Content Engineer calendar. If you have Content Engineer, then it has a master calendar, but there is a way to connect these two databases, which I will show you. It's already kind of done for you. So if you go back into this post here, if you're ready to post this to X, all you have to do is copy it like this and then click Post to X. It will take you to your page where you can then just paste your tweet in there, right? I won't do that, but that's what you would do. And then if you want to post it to the master calendar, and keep in mind you can only do this if you have access to Content Engineer, but if you have Content Engineer Pro and this is connected to it, so you just send to master calendar, and then if you have Content Engineer, it will go back into here, and you'll see that tweet down here. Actually, it was this one, the Framework one, right? Now, really quickly, I want to show you what Framework GPT looks like. If you have Framework GPT, Framework GPT is a custom GPT that will help you write viral content based on the viral frameworks that I have provided. So I have trained this GPT on all of the viral writing frameworks inside of Viral Writing Frameworks for X, as well as about 100 other ones. And it's really, really easy to use. So all you have to do is you can tell it to write a tweet or a thread. You can let the Framework GPT pick a random framework for you, or you can craft a tweet based on your ideal audience, and you can learn more about writing frameworks. If you just bought Framework GPT and you don't have the frameworks themselves, the writing frameworks themselves, and you'd like them, you can buy them from here. If you already have Content Engineer Plus or Pro, or if you have Framework OS of any version, then you automatically get all of those writing frameworks. Let's say we want to write a thread so we can see how this works, or let's say a tweet. Actually, it'll be simpler. So we'll start by clicking on that. It's going to ask us if we want to write a tweet or a thread. So we're just going to say we want to write a tweet. Okay, now it wants to know who our audience is. So we'll say that our audience is, let's say, fitness enthusiasts. You could pick anything. I picked homeschool moms recently. It doesn't matter what you pick. It'll come up with something. What kind of voice do you want? So it's going to ask you what voice you want to write in. Do you want to write in motivational, educational, and so on. So you can pick any style of voice that you want to be writing in. We'll just say motivational because that tends to work well with the fitness niche, right? Okay, so again, if you want to find any more of the products that I have, including all of the frameworks, you can go to that link. It'll occasionally give you this link in here. Otherwise, it's going to ask you if we want to use a specific tweet framework or if this should suggest a framework for us. Now, if you already have the frameworks, right? So let me go back here. If you have access to Framework OS, or if you've independently bought this, you can just grab a framework from inside of here if you'd like. You can pick this. You would just copy this thing in here, and then you'd go back to Framework GPT, and you'd tell it that you want to use this framework. If you don't have a framework, then you can just have Framework GPT select one for you. It's already trained on all those frameworks anyway, plus more, so let's just ask it to come up with one. So it's going to come up with a framework that is going to work well with the type of content that we're trying to create. And see how this is a framework. So it doesn't have anything filled in, but it's going to give us some examples of what that might look like. It always is going to give you 3 different frameworks. Let's use this third one. Okay, so now if we like this, all we have to do is copy it, and we can take it back into our other workflow, or we can go just paste it directly into Twitter if we want, or we can ask it to rework this or whatever you want. So if you have access to Framework OS Plus or Framework OS actually of any version or Content Engineer, then you can schedule that response by just creating a new draft inside of the drafts database. So you could hit quick draft like this. You would paste the text that ChatGPT gave you, delete anything that's related to the description. So that would be the tweet that we'd want to do, and then we could say that's a tweet. And then if we want to schedule it, so we can say this is like 90%. That's just for reference. All right, if we could schedule it like this, and then we can set it for a date. Let's set it for the 18th this time. So now if we go back to the calendar, we'll see it. There it is. And so then if we want to send it to X at some point in the future, all we have to do is copy this, and then we just click Post to X, and of course we just paste it in. And we'll probably have to format it because X doesn't like copy paste, but that's the deal. And of course, if you had Content Engineer, then you could also send it to the master calendar inside of Content Engineer, and it would be inside there. And so if we go back to the master calendar inside of Content Engineer, we'd find it there. Or actually, I'll go to the Content Engineer, and you can see it. There it is. There's the previous stuff we did with Content Engineer.